all. Class secretary who is the absent for today? Only one. Okay, so before we start our discussion, let's have our first activity for today's lesson. Okay, so the title of our activity for today is arranged. So I will be dividing the class into 5 groups, and what we're going to do is to arrange the story that I will be giving to you in chronological order. Okay? Chronological order meaning yeah. Okay, so I will be dividing the class into 5. Let us start. Okay. So all group 1 kindly proceed here on this area. Group 3, group 4, and group 5. Wherever group 1. Wherever group 3. How about the group 3? Group number 4. And for the last group. Okay, I will be giving you a 30 seconds only for you to 30 seconds to arrange a story. Okay? Wait lang. Wait, class. Okay? Timer starts now. Okay? How about the other groups? So we have 30 seconds. Okay, time's up. Where are the group? Group number 3. How about group number 3? Okay, on settle down, we will explore okay, now go back to your proper seat, class. countries' independence from Spanish colonization. And for the second scenario is he traveled to Europe to study, and the third is his writings sparked a revolution. Number four, he was arrested and exiled to the Pitan. And lastly, on December 30, 1896. Okay? So that is the correct arrangement of the story that I have here. Okay? So before we start our discussion, let us firstly the learning objectives. So who wants to lead the learning objectives?
Learning objectives. The end of the lesson is to mention be able to A. Find what is wrong. B. Explain the elements of trouble. And C. Illustrate and understanding of the topic you receive.
So our topic for today is all about elements of the novel. But before that, I have a question for you. What do you think is a novel? Or do you have any idea what is the idea when you say a novel? It is all about any other hands. How many digit number from 1 to 10? Do you have any idea what is the novel? Based from your book. Based from your book. You have the book? You have the book. I So, let us define what is a novel. So, when we say novel, it is the fictional prose of considerable length. What do we mean by that? Kindly explain when we say a novel has a considerable length.
A novel was made out of chapters, which is a novel is some type of based on the imagination of the author.
Okay, when we say a novel has a considerable length, which means there are a lot of chapters in that story or in that novel. Okay, so it is divided by 8 chapters. So another definition, it describes a series of events that includes the cast of characters, setting, and ending. So a novel consists of different characters and setting, and of course the ending. Okay, so novels have different genres. So based on your book, what are the genres that is mentioned there? Horror. So these are the different genres. Mystery, horror, western, science fiction, and fantasy. So I have a question for you. Why do you think it is important for you to know first the genre of a book that you are reading? What is the importance of that? Why do you think it is important for you to know first the genre before you read the novel? Number. What is that?
To understand the story more better.
Okay. Any other idea?
To understand the concept of the story.
it is important for us to know first the genre of the novel so that we will be able to know if that is appropriate or not for our age. Okay? So that is why we always remember that if you are going to read a novel, you should know first the genre of that story. Okay? So let us proceed now to our main discussion, which is the elements of a novel. There are 7 elements of a novel. These are chapters, characterization, dialogue, point of view, theme, setting, and plot. So let us first discuss the chapters. What do you think is a chapter? Or what is your idea about chapters? Do you have any idea what is a chapter? When we say chapters, or do you have any other idea?
Chapters are events that are written.
So to formally define what is a chapter, these are the divisions the author used to organize the events and developments in the novel. So, meaning if you are going to read a novel, there is a chapter there, okay? So, every novel has its chapter, and of course, the title. So, each chapter provides easy transition in setting and point of view. So, every chapter has a easy transitions for us readers to be able to understand that story, okay? So, it has also the setting and the point of view. So, we will discuss it later on, setting and the point of view. Next is authors usually use a cliffhanger at the end of each chapter. When we say cliffhanger, what are these? Or do you have any idea what is a cliffhanger? In a novel, what is a cliffhanger? Any other idea? Okay, when we say cliffhanger, it is this suspenseful situation at the end of the chapter. Okay, so that is why the reader will be interested on the next chapter because of the cliffhanger that is presented on the last of the chapter. The next element is the characterization. So, when we say characterization, the author does much exploration and development of the characters. So in here, the authors use this characterization for us to visually see or describe the characters. Okay, so the authors uses the characterization. There are 2 types of characterization. These are the direct and indirect characterization. So direct characterization, what is your idea about that? Based from the word direct. Meaning, do you have any idea? Or one recitation for? Based from the word direct. Last 2 in your secret later on. When you say direct, right, that's right.
Yes po lang po. I think other characterization po is when they describe the character.
Okay. Let's check it. If you are correct. When we say direct characterization, the portrayal of characteristics through straightforward statements from characters or narrative voice. So it refers to how qualities of characters that is presented clearly through directly through dialogue or the narrator's description to the characters. Okay, so for you to be able to understand, let us see this example. For instance, Sarah was a kind and cheerful girl who always helped her friends. So in this sentence, the narrator directly states the qualities making her personality clear to the reader, which is kind and cheerful. That is why this is an example of direct characterization. So how about indirect? If direct characterization is through straightforward statements from characters, how about indirect? How about indirect characterization? If direct characterization is through straightforward description of the characters, how about indirect? Any other idea? Okay, so when we say indirect characterization, the portrayal of individuals' characteristic through his words, thoughts, interaction, or appearance. So when we say, always remember when we say indirect characterization, it is with the interaction or physical appearance with different characters. That is indirect characterization. So let us see or let us look the example. Tom is seen helping an elderly neighbor carrying groceries and chatting with her kindly. So through his actions or interactions with the neighbor, it is included as indirect because there is an interaction between the different characters. Okay, so that is the difference between direct and indirect characterization. Do you understand, class? Okay, if you understand, kindly differentiate again what the direct and indirect characterization.
Their characterization po, if the author or the character describes, for example, the character. And indirect naman po is where the character is shown by the character's interaction with another.
Okay, very good. So let us proceed to the next element, which is dialogue. Do you have any idea what is a dialogue?
It is a conversation between two or more persons.
Okay. Dialogue is conversation between two or more characters. So dialogue is a written conversation of the characters. So it allows the readers to see their interaction with the use of dialogue. So I have a question. Is dialogue and script the same? Yes or no? Why? What is the difference between dialogue and script?
While as script naman po, it includes the actions po and the thoughts of character po.
Okay, when we say a dialogue, it is the conversation that is uttered by the characters. However, in the script, it is the written conversation of the characters. Okay, that is the difference between dialogue and script. So, let us, this is just easy, okay? Let us proceed to the next element, which is the point of view. So, when we say point of view, these are the kindly raise your hand if you want this.
Point of views that perspective of the
Okay. It is the perspective perspective from which the story is told. So it is the writer's way of deciding who will tell the story. If it is first person, second, or the third person. So these are the kinds of points of view. First, second, and the third person. So let us discuss it one by one. When we say first person point of view, what are those? Or do you have any idea what is a first person point of view? Any other idea? Okay. Any other guess? Other hands? Okay, I will just count. When we say first person point of view, these are basic.
Very low.
So to formally define what is a first person point of view, it is a narrative perspective where the story is told from the viewpoint of a character using the pronoun I or we. So it allows the readers to experience the character's thoughts, feelings, and experiences directly. Okay, that is a first person point of view. So this is an example of a first person point of view. Kindly read the example. So as you can see here in this example, the pronoun that is used is I and I. So that is why it is a first person point of view. Okay? Do you understand? Yes. Yes or no? Yes. Okay, let us proceed to the second person point of view. How about second person point of view? If first person uses the pronoun I or we, how about in the second person point of view? It is a narrative perspective where the story is told using the word you. Okay, so it directly addresses the reader and making them a character. Making them the character in the story, which creates an engaging experience with each other. Okay, so to better understand second person point of view, let us take a look or let us meet the example. Any volunteer? Okay, as you can see here in this example, the pronoun that is used is you and you. So that is why it is an example of a second person point of view. So do you understand this? The second. And last is the third person point of view. If the second person point of view uses the word they, how about in the third person point of view? Raise your hand. If second person point of view uses the word you, how about on the third person point of view? The pronoun that is used is he, she, or they. Okay, that is the if you are going to identify a sentence or a scenario, if you see the pronoun he or he, she, or they, meaning that is a third person point of view. For instance, can you read the example?
I sent out but
Where are you telling? Okay, as you can see here in this phrase, the pronoun that is used is she. Okay, so that is why it is a third person point of view. Okay, so do you have any questions or do you understand the kinds of points of view? Okay. Let us proceed to the next elements, which is the theme. When we say theme, these are the. Do you have any idea what is a theme? Other hands. What is your idea when we say theme? It is the central idea in a literary text. So these are the underlying message of the story. Okay, so it is the author trying to convey. Okay, so meaning this is the message that is the author used or the concept the author is trying to convey to the reader. Okay, so this is just easy. Kindly give an example of a theme based on the books that you have read. SAS. Any other idea or any other romance? How about okay. So these are the examples of a theme. Okay. So let us now proceed to the next element, which is the setting. Okay. Do you have any idea what is the setting? These are the place.
This is where the story takes place.
Okay. Any other answer? Okay. Any other answer? Okay, you are all correct. These are it refers to the time, duration, and location in which the events of the story takes place, establishing the context and atmosphere for the narrative. So always remember that the setting is the place an author chooses to write about. So if always remember that if you are going to read a novel, you must first know the setting of the story. Okay? So I have another question again. Do you think the setting in a novel should be read or made up? Do you think this setting in a novel should be read or made up? Depends. Why? Can you justify your answer by example?
Wait,
2 points in your superficial. Why?
The author needs to imagine a setting that na hindi naman po pala
Okay, 1 point.
Example, for story or novel mo is about history. It should be
the others? Yeah. Do you have anything? For the last one, so based on the book, the place of a setting can be real location or a fantasy made-up location. Why? The time of a setting can be the past, present, or future. Okay, so it really depends on the theme or it really depends if the theme or the setting is a fantasy or made up. Okay, so that is the setting. So let us proceed to the next or the next element, which is the plot. When we say plot, these are the plot. When we say plot, based on your book, you have a book. Very collected series of events. In other words, when we say plot, is our last friend. Kindly call a friend. Last. It is the sequence of events. A plot, according to the book, the plot shows readers what happens to the characters as well as the characters' reaction to these occurrences and the complex consequences of their action. Meaning, or in short, this is the storyline or the ordered sequence of events. So there are three different structures of plot. It is the linear plot, flashback, and in media or in media stress. So let us discuss first the linear plot. When we say linear plot, for one reservation point, kindly describe or define linear plot based on the word linear.
The linear plot is presented in a chronological order. For example, let's say numbers. 1 is 4, and so on.
Okay, 1 point. So when we say linear plot, the events in the story are presented in chronological or sequential order. So the activity that you did earlier is an example of a linear plot. So the story are arranged in order. Okay, so let us take a look on the image. So as you can see here, based on the book, event 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. So it is arranged in chronological order. So these 5 events are arranged in sequential order. So for instance, let us take a look at this example. So as you can see here, there are 5 events. Okay, so the introduction, the rising action, climax, falling action, and the resolution. So it is arranged in sequential order, right? So that is an example of a linear plot. Okay, so you can just take a picture of it so that you will know what is a linear plot. Who's the class secretary? Kindly just take a
What's that, guys?
do you understand what it class the linear plot? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So the next structures of a plot is a flashback. So based on the word flashback, do you have any idea what is a flashback? Okay. Thank you. According to him, it is the situation that happens on the past. How about the others? Action. Do you have any idea what is a flashback? Based on the word flashback. From the past. How about the others?
Para sa amin ang flashback ko is kung pinapaliwalikan yung nakaraan.
Okay, so to formally define what is a flashback, it is the current events that is presented chronologically and interrupted with the past events. So always remember this or kindly take note of this. When we say flashback, it is chronologically arranged, but it is interrupted with past events. So to better understand that, let's take a look at the intro. So as you can see here, chapter 1, the date of chapter 1 is October 2018. Chapter 2 is September 2018. And however, chapter 3 is, the date of chapter 3 is August 2018. So that is an example of a flashback. Okay, so the date of this chapter is August 2018, meaning
Ginawa niyo yung recollection of our story.
okay. So this is an example of a flashback. Okay, so to better understand that, let's take a look on the example. Kindly take a look at the example of the flashback. Okay, as you can see here, the date of the present day is October 24, 2024, and it is interrupted with flashback. So the date of the flashback is December 15, 2016, and back to the present day, which is the October 24, 2024. So this is an example of a flashback. Okay, so let us proceed to the last structure of a plot, which is the medias res. So, do you have any idea when you say in medias res? Meanings are based on the word media, in media. Based from your book. Based from your book.
The story begins in the middle of
This is a Latin phrase, kindly take note of this. This is a Latin phrase for in the middle or midst of the things. The story begins in the middle of the plot. Okay? So always remember that this plot in the stress, the story begins in the middle. Okay? So this is the visual image of immediate stress that is present on your book. To better understand that, let's take a look on the example. So as you can see here, the story begins at the middle of the plot or immediate stress, and it is interrupted with flashback. Kindly take. It is interrupted with flashback, and it is back to the present. That is how you identify immediate stress. Okay? So always remember that immediate stress, the story is begin on the middle of the plot. Okay? So that is immediate stress. Before you have any question? Before two recitation points, kindly differentiate linear plot, flashback, and immediate stress. For two recitations, for 2 points on your supernature, you have
Sir, but sinama mo na sa
I can differentiate linear plot, flashback, and immediate stress. Kindly okay, so
Starts with an enticing incident.
okay, 2 points. Okay, so do you have any questions before we proceed to our seat work? None? Okay, kindly for you to test if you really understand our instructions for today, kindly fill out 1/4 sheet of paper. Number your paper from 1 to 3. 1, 5. And please keep all your notes and books. Keep all your notes and books. One, 5. 15. 1, 5. 1 to 15. Are you done? Number your paper. Okay, for number 1. Are you done? Okay, described as a series of events that includes the cast of characters, settings, and ending. Kindly cover your paper. Okay, next. Next, in a novel, the author does much exploration and development of characters. The keyword there is the development of characters. Wrong spelling wrong. Okay, number 3. It is the perspective from which the story is told. Keyword there is the perspective. It is the perspective from which the story is told. Five, four, three, one. Next. Okay, this is just easy. These are the divisions the author used to organize the events and developments in the novel. The keyword there is the division. Five, four, three, two. Next, it refers to the series of events in a novel. It refers to the series of events in a novel. It refers to the series of events in a novel. Wait lang, I will just check. Number 5, it refers to the series of events in a novel. Novel. 5, 4, 1. Okay, next. It is the central idea in the literary text. This was discussed earlier. It is the central idea in the literary text. Kindly cover your papers. Five, 7, it is the conversation between two or more characters. Wrong spelling wrong. Five, four, three, one. Last, it is the conversation between two or more characters. Then number 7. Number 8. The story begins in the middle of the plot. The keyword there is middle. And that's the last part of our discussion. Five, four, three, one. Next, number 9. The current events presented in chronological order were interrupted to recount the past events. Current events presented in chronological order were interrupted to recount the past events. Five, four, three, two, one. Are you done? Number 10. The events in the story are presented in chronological order or sequential order. Okay, next. Number 11, the portrayal of characteristics through straightforward statements from characters or narrative voice. Just the first word.
Be specific, sir. Specific. Lang.
No, it's okay. We will just write first word.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Bait niyo talaga.
The portrayal of characteristics through straightforward statements from characters or narrative voice. This is a kind of characterization. Let's discuss earlier.
Sure.
I will. Number 12. It is a point of view or narrative perspective where the story is told using the word you. Okay, number 14.
Wait lang, sir.
13. The portrayal of an individual's characteristic through his words, thoughts, and interaction. Again, it is a kind of characterization. Are you done? It is a kind of characterization.
Yes. Wait lang.
Okay, number 14. It is a point of view or narrative perspective where the story is told by an outside narrator using he, she, or they. Keyword there is the pronoun he, she, or they.
Yay.
Okay, next for the last question. It is a point of view or narrative perspective where the story is told from the viewpoint of a character using I or we. Okay, are you done? Kindly pass your papers. Forward. We don't have any. We will just see the correct answer.
I love it.
Okay. We will correct your secret. For number one, the answer for number one is novel. Number two, characterization. Number three, point of view. Number four, capture. Number five, number six, number seven, hindi just less. Number nine, national. Number 10, number 11, direct around. Okay lang. Number 12, second person point of view. Number 13, the rest. 14, third person. And last, first person point of view. So, here, point as one. For the last part of our discussion, this is your assignment. So, write 100 to 150 words essay. Okay, the question is, if you were to write a story, which plot structure would you choose? Linear plot, flashback, or immediate test? What is the reason for your choice? Okay, for 100 to 150 words. Kindly write your answer in the one-half crosswise.